take your binoculars, you'll see a lot of very, very small little bushes.
I don't fly away. Oh, it's just a blackbird. Nothing even exciting.
It's just so peaceful.
What a biggie man.
Big eagle in the sky. This place is so cool.
This is amazing.
I know, isn't it? So cool.
You want me to take your picture standing over there?
Oh yes, please.
For 3 nights. Sounds fun. A lot of people are doing it in the summer. This time of the year, with the Waitakere, the cascading water, you know, it's a bit muddy. And you see people doing it this time of the year. They've kind of got mud up to their knees, but they're not looking like that's what they were planning for. It's pretty wet. The New Zealand parks have a number of these walks around New Zealand, and probably the most famous, the one that most people have heard of, is the Abel Tasman track at the top of the South Island. That also takes you into a west coast environment, so very, very thick sort of jungle. Coastal, temperate, that's we were just talking about. The forest type, although it has palm trees and a lot of tropical looking plants, it is actually temperate coastal rainforest is what it's called. Most of the cyclists you see on this road are those, you know, mammals, middle-aged men in lycra. And they're all doing the, you know, they're doing that training thing. They've been in Les Mills' gym, you know, all week, and they want to come out on the weekend and imagine that they're riding for Lance Armstrong. I think what I'll do...
We have time to walk down, David?
Yeah, that's the plan. Really follow the path. It goes right, left, over a little bridge to the pool. What I'll do, while you'll start there, I'll go and turn the bus round, face the other way, so that we can drive out. And then I'll meet you down there.
Okay.
At the pool at the bottom of the waterfall.
Okay.
So take your time.
This is stunning. Wow. I am totally gobsmacked. We don't have anything this beautiful back at home. Paradise. We're the only ones here. Just absolutely gorgeous. Try not to fall over and kill myself. Be hopeful. Absolutely beautiful.
We've driven over the top of one side. It's the circle right there. Most of it's filtering down to go down into the ocean. It's about 20 miles across.
Wow.
how big that was. Yeah,
That's a
huge.
big crater.
It's one of the first super volcanoes that made up sort of the top half of the North Island about 20 million years ago. Okay, all of you, if you are down on the water's edge, just keep an eye on those waves coming in at all times. They do sweep around the place. You'd be amazed how often we point that out and say that, and people come back with water up to their knees because you get carried away. You're taking a photo, it looks lovely, and the next minute, water's swept in. It's why we're always happy. You talked to me earlier about having children on the tour. We're always happy if there aren't kids on these tours. Okay, bathrooms are just here to the right, past the surfboards. Waved it around in the air. You don't have to wave it very far because look. The thing is just full of this.
Wow, that's awesome.
Lots of iron.
Lots of iron.
Awesome. We have
The
that at the
metal-
Exploratorium.
The metal is called magnetite, and it's iron and titanium. And when the sun's really out, you'll really see it sparkle, and you'll go, oh, what's that lovely silvery sparkle? And it's titanium, which is fused with the iron.
Check this place out. It's beautiful. We're on a hike. Oh man, I'm out of breath. So many stairs. Med steps eat your heart out. Up we go. Wow. This is insane. There's some people on the beach. Oh, puffed out.
I didn't actually raise anything. We didn't have property for it. But I did more of like the leadership stuff and the what is this? Oh, what are we doing?
You're supposed to spray your feet, I guess, when you come back, or
Wait,
maybe when you go in.
Always.
Remove soil before and after forest visits.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Clean your shoes, tires, and equipment. Oh,
All right.
This
alrighty.
is pretty intense. When I came across immigration, I was very nervous. I was trying to take inventory of anything I had in my bag. Well, because one of my colleagues told me that she, had been stopped. Oh, where it's been processed and everything, yeah.
Is this the route?
it said to go right.
Right. That's what he said, didn't he?
Yeah.
To go right.
You said go right? Lead on. Which way?
I'd also picked up some pseudoephedrine in Australia, actually, where I had to give them my name and they entered it into the database. And I declared that as well. And he looked
Coming
at
in
it.
here?
Yes. Again, I declared everything in my suitcase pretty much. I was like, I don't know what you need to know. They said, any kind of plant. I bought a boomerang for my niece, which is made of wood.
Fantastic.
So I said, yes. And he said, oh no, that's fine. I was like, okay, but I didn't know.
It's better to hear.
Yes.
Remember, no bears.
No bears, okay.
But the pseudoephedrine, he's like, well, you don't have enough to make it a problem, but otherwise you would have had to. Because I had like 3 boxes and he decided I didn't have enough to make
You
it
wanted
back
that to be
with
a carrier or a
it. Right.
distributor.
You can't even buy those, can you?
No, I know. I brought it in from Australia.
You didn't go to San Diego?
Well, no, I claimed it at customs, and he said it was fine because I didn't have that much. But when I bought it in Australia, they put my name in the database.
Yeah,
You better leave with it then.
I know.
You can still basically obviously got somebody to took it down for them
And then just toss
and then tossed
to the side.
all the rubbish. Having said that, the main producers now are Chinese gangs who are bringing it in container ships, you know, as part of container, and then they're selling it to motorcycle gangs who are processing it. It's been a huge problem for about 15 years. I think the forces of law and order are really on top of it now. Which you find in people's gardens all around the world. Okay, what's the most propagated plant in the world?
Bamboo.
He says, pointing at this. It's not a rhododendron. It's a bi something. Can't remember what those leaves are called. Where they come out in two and then they split up.
Bifurcated?
Bifurcated.
Oh.
And it's a hebe. H-E-B-E. Hebe. It's the world's most propagated garden plant.
Huh.
Because of what? Of their...
Gardeners, because of the foliage.
Oh, okay.
And the form, that one's a straggly old thing.
Yeah,
We have 100 different hebes around New Zealand, and they all have different forms. Some are like this, some are like that, and they give structure to a garden. So even though the flowers are only white or pale pink and they're not very interesting, people go. All landscape gardeners have incorporated hebes in their designs, and that plant would have made some garden companies in New Zealand multi-millionaire. I mean, we do a lot of plant breeding in New Zealand, and some guys with the natives, all these pittosporums and comprosmas, you'll find them in garden centres all around the world now, but they all started life here.
Minus 30
Oh no, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ferns don't do
This
very
one
well at
too,
nine.
propagate
Minus
in
nine.
this one, what do you call that?
What, the palm?
These
Not palms?
spiky ones
Yeah.
are not palms, they're
different.
they're actually cordyline. They're related to the Australian cordyline. And they're actually lilies. They're part of a lily family. If we came here in another couple of months when they're flowering, the perfume is so intense and strong. It's like being in a room full of hyacinths.
Oh wow.
For sufferers like me, it's the worst thing you can imagine. They're just achoo, achoo,
I'm allergic. I could be allergic.
enjoy it, because this is a perfect month. Things are starting to come out and flower, but the Lincoln hay fever hasn't quite hit us yet.
Mine.
The hollow bit is where the host tree was.
So Strangler fig kind
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
Melissa, is it?
Yeah.
Melissa said strangler fig. You
Is that
get
what
these
this
in forests. Well, it's rata vine, but it's exactly the same idea. It sends these shoots from the ground up, smothers the tree, strangles it at the top, and then sends roots down. It's like brutal and very fast, actually. You can almost watch them year after coming back into the forest and seeing them take over quite big trees. And they'll completely smother the foliage within 5 years. And then they send stuff like this, aerials back down to the ground. They get in the soil around the base, which is why the roots have formed around the hollow where the trees died, because that's the way in which it took the nutrients from the tree, from the ground.
There's a cartoon about
That's the one you showed me first, that I was thinking
There is a native New Zealand which is tiny. But a lot of the other ones are
And I was like, yeah, again, nowhere to live. I don't want that to be a
no
permanent
bigger than one of these leaves. And you can often be looking at a tree thinking there's some kind of movement there. But you can't quite work it out because it's all so flitting and fast. And you'll find just because they fit into nature so well. Yes, you don't know. You walk past thousands of these birds. So that was 1911, is it? 1910 to 1921. So that's all to do with the tree, and that's this side here, is these guys pulling these big kauri trees out of the forest here. So you can see on that side what sort of activity they've got involved in.
Wow. You think how long it takes to saw through one of those with just a hand saw?
Well, it's why the Maoris didn't get involved in it. Okay. But yeah, that's the kind of scale of it.
Amazing.
But honestly, the real one is like even more amazing.
Hi.
Oh, spiders.
Oh, that is cool.
Now, Gemma, give us a sense of scale.
Okay, here we go.
Goes off to the left. So just carry on down. Getting a little cool now. Well, the other side of the hill, we were facing the sun. So it was quite warm on the beach for 2 hours. Now we've come on this side of the cliff. We're actually, the sun's moved around, it's the other side of us. So this side of the hill stays right through the winter, really. Even in the midday. Come back in the summer, it's very pleasant. So this one you're looking into the crown of the tree. We're not looking at the base of the trunk, but you are looking at how the crown is fanning out clearly from its... well, we talked about when we saw the 100-year-old one, what happens to the tree once it gets through the broadleaf canopy.
So what's the name of